Welcome to This Is Whole Life, a podcast from the Whole Life Church in Orlando, Florida.
Join me, Ken Wetmore, lead pastor, and Melanie Bachman, our worship pastor, along with our communication team, Randy and Lucas. Take a look back, a look deeper, and a peek into the week ahead.
Here we explore meaningful conversations about spirituality, community, and living with purpose.
We don't have all the answers, but we are walking the journey together.
Wherever you're listening from, you're wanted here.
This is Whole Life.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 532 of This Is Whole Life. And this week, it's hot. I don't know where you're listening from, but I'm just going to take a wild guess. And what is it, August 18th? It's hotter here than wherever you're listening from.
Our location is hotter than your location.
That's right. And it's not in a good way either. It is hot. It is sticky. And I saw something on the news. I rarely ever watch the news anymore, but I was watching. So I had the antennas up on the TV. That says a lot about what my TV viewing habits are. But I dug out the antenna, put the rabbit ears up, and it was local news. And this was, I believe, Sunday. And we had just had 44 days already this year of heat above, or record heat, setting days of record heat this year. And our last time we did it was 45 days, and it was in 1917. And Sunday was day 44. And it's like, well, there goes this record for the rest of the week because it's still going to be hot. And I'm like, so it's not just me. This is like an actual thing. Like it's really miserable hot until the sun goes down. And then it's still, I think it was this morning at 8 o'clock, it was 85, I think. So yay. Yay.
Is that the actual heat or is that the heat index?
No, that was the actual, according to...
So then it was really about 105?
Yeah. It seems like you can just add 20 these days. Whatever it is, put 20 on it and you're pretty close.
Yeah. That humidity.
It's not the heat, it's the humidity. But I never believed that before.
It's both.
Yeah, I mean, it's, when you're standing in the middle of the desert and it's still 110 and it's not humid, it's still hot. I mean, just toast.
When do you mow your lawn during, what's your secret for that?
I mow it whenever it's not raining.
Yeah, that's the real
right now. So
that's the real trick, isn't it? Because you want to wait till the grass is dry, but that's about a 5-minute window that you've got. You know, I mean,
my yard's not big, and I might not make it.
Yeah.
Yours isn't either.
No, my lawn is a postage stamp, but still, just it. You know, to weed eat, do everything properly,
get the blower out,
45 minutes to an hour, right? I mean, depending on how high the grass has gotten since, if it was raining for, like Noah's flood for the last whatever. And
my lawnmower went away. She left.
What?
I know, right? This morning, my wife and my oldest went to visit parents and other family in Wisconsin for a couple of days before she goes back to school. And I'm like...
So your oldest is the one that mows the lawn or your wife is the one that do?
Yeah, well, no.
Okay, I was just checking.
Yeah, no, it's Ellie, but she was sick last week. And I'm like, you're not going to go mow the lawn? She's like, Dad, I'm sick. And I'm like...
Just sweat it out.
That's right. Oh, see, this is why you need more Ken in your life, in your ears. So listen every week for parenting tips and
not good ones. Just
I didn't
just parenting tips.
Yeah,
that's it.
I didn't classify. I just said so. Awesome. Well, this week you have already heard her voice, and you probably recognize her from what was this 2 weeks ago that we drug you in here on a Saturday morning when Freud just ignored all the signage.
It may have been 3 weeks.
Could have been. Has it been that long already?
I think so, 3 weeks.
Wow, time flies when you're having fun. So tell us, Lindsey, you were very kind to us the first day we had you here on the podcast. So how have things been?
It's good.
Yeah?
It's going well, yeah.
And why are you here?
Right now?
Yeah.
Because my boss told me to be here.
Oh, Ken.
Actually, he told me from
I
the
love
stage.
it that the Lord speaks to you directly. That's pretty amazing. That's one of the reasons we hired Lindsey, that direct connection to Jesus. We like that.
Usually that chair has a little more fight in it,
more
but that's,
Melanie's off doing other things this morning.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
And Melanie, and Lindsey is here because she got asked to speak on her birthday or a day after her birthday. Yeah. But those
good.
T-shirts were lit.
They were pretty
Oh my
great,
goodness,
weren't
so
they?
embarrassing.
Was it really? Oh, I thought.
yeah.
I will say when they started singing, when the praise team, and I'm just like,
oh my.
here's Lindsay just standing there.
That's exactly how I felt.
Happy birthday!
Oh my. This is a
And
lot.
if you think Ken didn't know it was going to be awkward, you don't know Ken.
very well. And again, this is why you need more Ken in your life, is all I'm saying.
This might not have been the right day to send out my pastoral evaluation.
Oh man, so much fun though. I mean,
Yeah.
I know it was awkward, but it also I was teaching. We have a new what we call them comms creatives around here. But they're volunteers.
Oh, nice.
And so I was teaching a little final cut during second service, and so I didn't get a chance to listen to your message live, but I listened to it twice this morning, once on the way in, and then I actually sat and watched it while I was taking notes. And
isn't it nice when somebody speaks in a concise fashion, so you can actually listen to it twice without it, without taking up your whole day, like other people who sit in that chair that I'm just.
Melanie, all the shade.
I wasn't calling names, but if you're going to go ahead and name names, I mean, okay, Lindsay, if you want to throw Melanie under the bus like that,
you want to make connections that weren't mentioned, I mean, that's up to you.
I wasn't going to do that.
No, we would never do that to someone missing from this table, because that's not how that works. The other part that I felt so bad is when you get stuck up front and you have your headset on.
Yep.
And it's just like, it's either in your hair.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Or there's something in the back that's it's rubbing on your collar. It's causing it to click.
I was like, I cannot figure this out, but I'm still speaking. Was it loud? I couldn't tell.
It wasn't as bad as you felt like it was.
I don't think it was that bad, but it was still from a speaking.
And I just say that from a speaker's standpoint. I know when I'm up front, it sounds like it's like Morse code, the telegraph.
Exactly.
So I'm here to tell you, it wasn't as bad as you probably felt like it was.
But it's noticeable when you're speaking.
Yeah.
And then it's a little bit of panic when you're like, why won't this stop? And then you go, how many times do I put my hand up to actually try to fix this? I want people to know I notice, but I also don't want them to be consumed and not listening to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was my hair. Hair gets in the way.
Well, what are you going to do? Happens.
It happens.
All right. So
So Steve didn't have any problem when he preached.
Wow. Today everybody's feisty. Is it the earlier hour?
I don't know.
Wow.
Well, I will say for us,
Steve got it straight. He was like, he's not even normally in this.
Yeah, Fry didn't complain either.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
We got staff catching strays out here this morning. Just like that's we chose violence, I guess, this morning. I mean, we have good coffee, and then before my team left this morning at approximately 3 this morning to beat traffic, or wait till traffic it comes after and beat the lunch traffic in Atlanta.
Yep.
She made homemade sourdough cinnamon rolls.
Oh, wow.
My.
Oh, wow.
And you didn't bring those today?
We did.
So we're saying one side of the podcast is more blessed than the other side. Lindsay, that was your birthday too.
It was.
I mean, I understand why they're leaving me out. I don't understand. Like, you've been nothing but nice so far.
And I wasn't sure how many. Emily ate, I think, 3
Okay.
on the way in. So she was like, I'm like, you still have to
I
drink
hear
your
it. So
smoothie.
she ate Lindsay's and mine. I got it.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Way to go ahead and put her under the bus for you.
But it also, they weren't hot yet, like steaming. Like usually Heather comes on Saturday morning, she'll bring them and they're still warm, but they were still really delicious. So if only you'd been here earlier.
We'll just have to take your word for it.
We will.
All right. We did get a few text messages this week, and one of them we'll save because it's a question we will wait till we get to question time. But this one I wanted to read because this is.
By the way, while you're looking that up, I want you to know Lindsay's such a good sport. She walked into the office today and she said, So you were serious on Sabbath when you said that I was going to be on the podcast. She didn't. I don't think she realized that it was a real thing.
Well, yeah, when you were announcing it, I was like, well, maybe he's serious or joking. That's the first time I heard.
Well,
But maybe I should have known that.
I guess I should have given you the gift of knowing ahead of time or opting out, but
Nah.
we're all here now. So
Yeah, it's all
Let's
good.
go.
It's all good. All right, here we go. Hi, Whole Life family. Thank you all for what you do to bring people to Jesus. You guys and gals are amazing. From last episode, I learned that on my next car purchase, I'm taking you all with me. So
we'll have our strengths and deficiencies.
That's it. On the question that Ken strategically left for Melanie from the morning service about Moses having more compassion than God, I loved the answer she provided, and it made me think about Abraham when he negotiated with God for mercy for any innocent that lived at the time in Sodom and Gomorrah. And I loved what Melanie said about God letting and giving room for Moses to ask for God's compassion. Like a parent educating his child, like a leader letting his apprentice grow, always amazed me how wonderful God is and what a good teacher and father he is. Makes me realize that God does a great job at being God. Good job, God. Okay, there we go. Fast forward to today's Sabbath. Happy birthday, Lindsey. I got to say hi, but a line of people was trying to do the same thing, so I kept it quick and forgot what I wanted to do, which was wishing you a beloved birthday weekend. Touche for how you sneak Ken's first service birthday announcement early on second service.
I tried.
Tried to subvert it. You'll find I'm not that easily deterred.
Maybe he won't sing.
Maybe.
Nope.
I am fully assuming you were trying to avoid the embarrassment of the happy birthday song.
Yes,
But you should know Ken by now. Didn't you hear about Carmen Electra's story? Ken will have his way. Kudos to Ken for leaving the professionals sing happy birthday on second service. Wow, it strays all over today. This is
a rough day.
This is rough. Oh, you better put your armor on this morning.
Fair. But rough.
I still enjoyed it better the first service song just because Lindsey didn't see it coming.
I did not.
I can't always be in both services, but I love it when I do, and I can appreciate the dynamic changes and the jokes are never the same. The more nervous you are, the more jokes you are thrown, and the first service got the better ones. 5-star rating. Message also lands different, like the potluck testimony in second service. That was wonderful. I loved the meditation that Lindsey did on First and Second Kings. On first service, I learned about seasons and how God can ask you to move on. And on second, I'm taking with me, bring God what you have. Sometimes we think is just the tithe, thinking that only thing God provides is money. But he provides time, food, talents, health, resources. Made me meditate and ask myself, am I really giving God what I have? Both widow stories brought me back to the daily man and the Lord's Prayer requesting our daily bread. God is trustworthy and he truly shines where there's nothing left but him. Can be in the privacy of your own home or in a bigger stage like the potluck testimony. Finally, Lindsey, just in case it's not said yet, gators, potholes, sinkholes, I-4, snakes, swimming snakes, and sharks, Florida man, red tide, South Florida spring breaks, hurricanes, tornadoes, dinosaurs in the backyard, and the most dangerous one, humidity. Again, thank you all for what you do. Have a blessed week and already looking forward to the next episode. And that's from Lenny.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome, Lenny.
Yeah.
I feel like you have an opportunity to do a parody of We Didn't Start the Fire with the
I know, right?
With all the Florida disasters that you can throw in there.
Yeah, we can call it things to look out for in Florida. Wow, that's fun. That was fun. Thank you, Lenny. That was great. So California fires, earthquakes, Michigan blizzards, Florida warnings. What's the best one you've gotten so far?
Like a brain-eating amoeba?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like, don't let it go up your nose.
Yep, that's true.
And they told me while my child was going down a water slide at Lake Dick.
That's awesome.
That was frightening.
You don't have to worry about the water slide. It's actually the shallow water around lakes. No, says Randy.
Says the guy who did all the videos for the Amoeba Foundation.
Okay.
No, no, it's true. If anything you want to know about that,
real.
No, it's real. People have gotten it on slip and slides. People have gotten it in their bathtub. People have gotten it from their
bathtub
shower.
What?
Can you filter this?
Any fresh water that is not chlorinated,
Wow,
and or under chlorinated swimming pools. Like if you have a swimming pool like Florida, most people have
Nobody's going to shower anymore.
So how many deaths are there a year, just so that we can go? This would be helpful.
They say it's rare, but it's also underdiagnosed. A lot of times it gets diagnosed as bacterial meningitis.
Okay.
And so people can go, but you're on the clock. If you get this, in 4 days, you're probably not. If you haven't figured it out in 4 days, you're dead.
What? Well,
No, that's
Lake
true.
Day was a little while ago,
You're
so we're
okay.
okay. I'm okay so far.
Although if you took a shower today,
Yeah.
you're on the clock.
But it's usually, though, the good news is, well, I mean, this isn't good news. Good news for you, not for your children. It typically affects boys more than girls, and it's usually like
This sounds like the beginning of a really...
Kids like 8, 9, up until like their teens is when they're most prevalent. And people say, oh, it's only in the shallow water. It's only in brackish water. It's only in water that doesn't circulate. They closed down a lake in Minnesota.
What?
That was spring-fed, constant, like 72 to 75 degrees throughout the summertime. And 3 teenagers died within the same year at the same lake from the brain-eating amoeba.
Huh.
How many?
3. There's only 3 kids there's only been 3 people ever that have been diagnosed and actually saved, and they were saved right here at Advent Health. Dr. Dennis Hernandez was one. He goes to church here, actually, good friend of mine.
Wow.
He rides with us in the motorcycle group, and so the good news is, if the big thing to think of is afterwards, if it's water straight up the nose to the point where your child has like a migraine, go get them checked and tell them it's the amoeba. They know what to do. Call me. I can get you Dennis.
Right.
I will give you Dennis's number. And
Going straight to the doctor.
Uh-oh. Suddenly our numbers are going to go really up, and Dennis is not going to like us anymore.
no, seriously. It's something that they figured out. And Stanley and I did training videos for the Jordan Smelsky Foundation.
Wow.
Their son died at 9 years old on
my.
vacation in Costa Rica at hot springs. If you've ever been to Costa Rica, everywhere around Arenal, the volcano, there are hot springs and water parks. Slide down the slide, right? I've been there, done it. It's wonderful. Except they did it for about 5 hours. He got water up his nose, and 5 days later, he was brain dead. As sad as that is.
That's super sad.
And so his parents, we've done their training videos. We've done all the stuff for their foundation. So anyway, JordanSmelskyFoundation.org, I believe. I'll put it in the show notes. It's just their biggest thing is use a nose plug. And if your child gets it severely, like hard up the nose where it's just like, like they come out of the water and it's just like, or they don't feel good, best to get checked early. Seriously, this is one of those where it's like, the Widowmaker, every second counts. This is true. Two of the people that got saved, one, they found out, got the diagnosis like 2 days after, I believe it was. And the other one was 24 hours later. And the one that was early, took him about, and he's right here in Tampa. And it took him about, his name was Sebastian. We interviewed him. He took him about 6 months to recover, to get back to full.
Wow.
3.5 to 6 months before he felt all right. She had to learn to walk, talk, and everything, and it was only 24 hours later. Wow. So they cool your body to slow it down because that's what it loves, heat. So any fresh water, and even underchlorinated water.
Salt water?
It can't live in salt water. I don't know if they figured out when we were still doing their stuff, they were testing to see what the salinity level threshold was. Then they didn't have an answer on it yet. But if you're in the ocean, you're fine. It's not going to be a problem.
Going to the ocean.
That's right.
Yeah.
Stay in the ocean and fight the sharks.
Which do you have better odds of, like the brain-eating amoeba or being eaten by a shark?
If you're in Nusa Marina Beach,
Probably death. I don't know. Are you in the shark?
Driving there is probably actually the more dangerous.
It's probably the most dangerous. It's not. Once they figured out how to diagnose it, they've gone back and done autopsies on people from years ago and figured out that's how they died. Because it was like, Grandpa died, but no one knew what was going on. He just got sick, and all of a sudden he was dead, and then nobody knew why. So it's a real thing, but also just don't let it freak you out. It's
after that 10 minutes of horror.
Like just gone.
So she's looking pretty chill right now.
it's all good. It's all good. I promise.
Welcome to Florida.
God's supply in abundance is never exhausted.
That's right.
Yes.
Right.
That's
So
right.
let's go with that one. So when you're asked to preach, and you're like, okay, oh goodness, they've got 2 services. Does that mean I have to preach twice, or is Ken taking like second service? And when you found out you were preaching, did you know what you were going to preach about? Well, how'd you come up with it? Is this a message you've done before somewhere else, or is this a first run?
For the first run.
Ooh, I feel
know.
special.
I was like, well, maybe I could do another, but I really like, I don't know, whatever I'm studying right there or right then, it usually becomes what I preach about. It's like something more real right now versus something I've like processed before and studies before. So actually, it was my daughter and I were doing our family worship in the morning, and we read one of the stories, and then I was like, you know what? There's a similar story because I think she had mixed up the 2.
I mix those up all the time.
So we went and read both, and I was like, oh, and that's where it started. Yeah, where I started just looking into them.
So that's where you're hanging out right now, is in the 1st and 2nd Kings?
I was like in June-ish.
In June-ish? Nice.
Yeah.
That's not one, I mean, not that we don't ever preach on Elijah or Elisha for that matter, but the 2 widow stories, I always think it's just one. And then I always think it's like, well, they fed him, but then I was like, okay, I'm leaving now. I need something to do. And then that's how the second widow story happens. Is like, well, all right, then go get the jars. Yeah. And I'm like, well, this lady's really on a hot streak here. First we got the water and the oil doesn't run out, and now we're taking excess jars and collecting them around the city, around the community, and we're getting all this. But I like how maybe one of the favorite things that early on that you said was provision for one season doesn't mean that you can't transition into another. And I'm like, that's one. How do you make that? How do you remember that and then make that transition though? Because I feel like that's the one where we all get stuck and go, woe is me. It's been a long time. I haven't seen God do anything, and I don't, He's asking for what I have, and we're looking going, I don't have anything. What in the world could I possibly have that would help in any way possible? Yeah. How do you make that transition and not get stuck? Any good advice for someone listening thinking,
I mean, yeah, well, I just made a transition from a spot where I knew God had called me. I was there. I believed He called me, surrounded me with people to minister to and to be ministered by, and it kind of ran dry at the end. And so I think it's just like a realization that wherever God places you or wherever God calls you to, with what little you have or a lot you have, just it's going to be okay. Like He's got you.
Yeah.
That's
When Elijah goes from, here you are at the brook, and we have birds are feeding you, which I still, that's always gross to me. I'm like, am I going to eat food that's been in their claws or their mouth? Like, did they have little backpacks that they just dropped from the air, and he,
I think they were carrying bags like a stork.
Yeah, maybe that's what I want to believe, because I'm like, from your mouth to mine, huh?
A burger in there.
Oh, yeah. See, maybe a little steak. I'm with you. I can feel that. I feel that.
Now Randy's more interested. If it was vegetables, no thanks.
No. Do we have carne asada? Get some little salt and whatever on there. Make that juicy. That'd be good. But he leaves that when that dries up. And then it's like, oh, hey, guess what? I got something new and cool for you. Yeah. It's a lady that's got nothing. It's all gone. It's all gone. And plus, she's really needy. This woman is going to die like in a week because she's not going to have food.
Yeah.
She's making the last of what she has. That's where you're headed, buddy. And I'm just like, that is where you have to feel like, ouch. Like, you let this dry up, and he complains about, well, now what am I going to do? I'm just going to, you bring me here to die because the water is dry, and he moves him on. And I'm thinking about if I'm Elijah, I'm just like, there's no way out of this, is there? Right? Like, I'm going from bad into worse, but you said God doesn't need our abundance. He needs us when we are available. And I think that's the hard part, because I don't want to feel available when I don't feel like someone is even, I don't want to say doesn't care, because I know that can be a feeling when you don't feel God, or you don't maybe see, like you said, the people that that are supposed to be ministering to you and you
Yeah.
don't feel it. So I don't want to say I don't feel like nobody cares, but also that you're just somehow alone. And how am I supposed to feel about this abundance? And if I know there's abundance, how come none of it's mine? How come none of it's coming my way? And it just made me stop and think about what do I feel, or how do I process this when I do have some abundance? Like, what should I be doing? How should I be looking at this and going, how could I be the person that, I don't know. You had this great story. Maybe let's go there first. You had this great story where you witnessed the beans and the rice never go dry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's not something you see every day where you go, what do I have that's in abundance? I'm out here struggling, like everybody else, pay the bills, keep the kids in clothes and school and, everything else. And recognizing God's abundance, I don't think I'm good at this. And I've been thinking about it since your message. And I'm just like, where do I see this? Or how do I find gratitude for what I have that's clearly abundance comparatively to someone?
Maybe that is the abundance, right? What we have.
Yeah. It doesn't always. It doesn't
feel like it.
But what's our personal abundance? So sometimes I feel like you work in a church and we try to make opportunities for people to meet Jesus. We have events. We have obviously church, and then outside of church, we have people that know Jesus, don't know Jesus, people we interact with. How do I find my abundance of what I have that I can give, kind of like Elijah, without thinking that it has to be, because I feel like it's like, well, I don't know. Lindsey could use a new car, but I don't have a new car to give her. I don't have solving someone's problem like this seems daunting, and God provided, but do you stand and wait for it and go, well, God, I think I see a problem, and I don't see any of my abundance that's really going to work here. So, is this for me? Is this for someone else? That's one that I've been struggling with to figure out where we find those pieces when it doesn't feel like I have abundance. Ken, you looked over and I thought you were.
No, I was just thinking, in terms of Lindsey's sermon, when you used the word abundance, I thought, I think I know what the word means, but I thought, well, I'll look it up and see what the definition is. It says abundance means having a very large quantity or a plentiful supply of something. And I think that if you take that word abundance and turn to a plentiful supply of something, the Bible talks about my God is able to supply all your needs. And so maybe God is the plentiful supply, even if it doesn't always feel like there is a overload of something. I think, I think to some of the difficult situations financially we've been in over the years as a family, and it doesn't feel like we've always. There's been times where it felt like there was definitely not going to be enough, and yet every time we've figured out how to make it through. We have a roof over our head, we have food to eat, and I don't want to take away, because I do think there are people out there who also don't have a roof over their head and don't have food to eat. And I think one of the more fascinating things to me is when they do happiness studies on people who are happy. It's not the amount of stuff that you have, or it's gratitude. It's people who are grateful for what they do have in their hand and what they do have available to them. And I think that may be a hard thing for a lot of us who live in a country of abundance. Not everybody in this country has abundance, but this country, by and large, overwhelmingly has abundance, or it has had abundance. And, when you travel to other parts of the world and you see the way other people in other places are living, almost everybody I ever meet who's gone to a less developed country comes back saying, wow, I'm so grateful for what I have. I take for granted the hot shower that I had this morning and the support system. So I think in life we can look at what we don't have, or we can look at what we do have and what God is providing and the good things in our life. Easier said than done. I know that there are moments where I really struggle to appreciate the good things in my life, but maybe that's just part of our growth pathway, if you will, is learning to be grateful in all circumstances.
And maybe that's the immediacy that you were talking about, that, God only has enough. It never runs out, but it isn't always given in abundance. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it is abundance because you're eating, so that's abundance, but maybe it's not in advance.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the part, because it's like, I like to plan. I like to know what's coming. I like to prepare so that I'm not in that situation.
Does God promise abundance?
Promise abundance?
What do you think?
I think he just meets us in our situational need. So I don't think it's always going to be abundance, because for her, for the first widow, it was just daily bread. I mean, it was every single day, right? It was just a little bit every day to keep her alive. I mean, it wasn't abundance. So I don't think he promises that, but he promises he'll take care of us. And that doesn't always look like what we want it to look like. Even probably that daily bread doesn't always look like what we want it to look like, but we're okay. I mean,
when it's rice and beans for the week.
Yeah.
Well, even in the other widow, you tend to think of that story more with abundance because every jar is filled. But if you really stop and think about it, what she told at the end, go sell it all and you'll be able to pay off your debt.
So she wasn't
it doesn't say that she suddenly became a multimillionaire. It just says you're basically able to get yourself out of debt, keep your kids from becoming slaves, and you'll survive. So I've always really struggled with religious teachers who kind of have an idea that God wants you to be a millionaire and live in a super nice house and drive a super nice car, and that somehow is a sign of God's favor in your life, and that if everybody figured out how to do the magical phrase, then suddenly everybody would have an abundance in their life. And I look at some of the most godly people in the Bible, and that just doesn't characterize their life. You think about John the Baptist, who would not, nobody would say he had a life of abundance, I don't think. I mean, when the Bible talks about what he wears and what he's eating, it doesn't seem like, it doesn't seem like it was abundance. It was, and when you think about Moses, he gets to lead these people through a wilderness. He's living there with them. He doesn't get to go to the promised land and take part in the land flowing with milk and honey. He dies up on a mountain. And so I think that there are those of us who are very blessed to have an abundance, to have more than enough of things, and that's a blessing, and definitely something to be grateful for. And I think there are those of us who don't have an abundance, who are struggling, who wonder how we're going to make it. And I don't think one is more favored than the other by God. I think that that God loves us all equally, and I think that in some cases God does provide the abundance for reasons. Maybe that person is going to provide for others or do something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I see plenty of greedy people who don't provide and they have a lot. So I think where I've kind of come in my life is just to choose to be grateful to God for what I have in the moment. When things are rough, I lean back on the things that are most important to me, and I think about what God has done in my past, and I think about the people that I love right now that are here with me in the hurt. I'm very fortunate to have a group of people that when I'm in a difficult situation, I can call up and they will listen to me, and they're not Job's friends. They genuinely care for me and support me emotionally. And so, yeah, those are the things that as I think about the gifts and things, because for me, everybody can have their own opinion. I'd love for God to test me with wealth. I am down for that. But I'm really grateful. For me, the most important thing in life are relationships. My family, the friendships that I have. Those are the things that really mean the most to me. So those are the things I have gratitude, and sometimes those relationships sometimes come to an end too for various reasons. And even in those moments, I try to figure out how to thank God for what I had. And for what and sometimes ask why I've lost what was important to me. But also just to say, hey, you've been with me before, you'll be with me again. You are with me, even when I don't really feel it.
I was going to ask a question. John 10:10, when it says, I have come to give you life and life more abundantly. I was wondering just when you said that, what is that? What does abundantly in that sense mean? Does it necessarily mean wealth, or does it mean friendships and family and the things that are important to us? Does it mean everlasting life? Does it mean what does that abundant life mean in Christ? And I don't know.
I don't know, Lindsey. You preach the sermon, so I'd love to hear. I'll tell you. I'll make a deal with you. Will you tell me though? Tell me what does it mean for you?
Well, I was just thinking about it in terms of these stories versus that verse, and when he talks about abundant life, I don't know. I think it means, for me, it's just living with the hope of something more, not physically here on this earth, and not, $1 million houses, which are cool, right?
Very cool.
Very cool. But just living with the hope of heaven, the hope of Jesus coming back, with family, friends that, you can lose sometimes, but the hope of seeing them again. And so I think that is kind of what John 10:10 there means to me. So I don't know how that relates to the abundance that he gives when he gives it, but.
Yeah, for me, I think when I think about that verse, I think about it in the context of, I genuinely believe having Jesus in your life makes life better no matter what you're going through. So if I'm poor, Jesus makes my life better than it would be without him. If I'm rich, Jesus makes my life better than it would be without him. Because I see a lot of really wealthy people who are very miserable and live lives that I don't envy. You'd think you could buy your way out of the unhappiness, but it doesn't appear like some of them can. I think there's a lot of things you can buy that can give you some temporary happiness. But it seems like, and so for me, I've just always felt that, and this is part of why I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. When I look at the way that the Seventh-day Adventist Church, the doctrines that we teach, take the Sabbath, take what happens to a person when they die, take the principles about healthful living. It feels to me like God, when we take all those principles and when we live by them, it makes our life fuller and better. And so for me, that's where, when I think about Jesus saying that I've come that they may have life and may have it to the full, or have it more abundantly, it means that you're able to live to the fullest expression of humanhood with Jesus. Whereas without Jesus, there's something missing and vacant that isn't there. And I also agree with you that I think it also has a lot to do with the hope of the future, the hope of being reunited with the people that we've lost, that we love, the hope of a place where nobody's hungry and that nobody feels pain, and that suffering is a thing of the past. I think that hope is also part of that life, and life more abundantly. So, yeah.
Thanks.
I think the gratitude is what ties it all together, because I think if you have gratitude, whether you're rich or whether you're poor, or whatever state of in between, I think the gratitude helps you realize, and I think it's tied to, you said we always say, I have nothing except, And maybe it's identifying, gratitude can help you identify that accept. What is that? And it's like, wow, if I really stop and think about that, that can be something that is very, very much an intangible, because for someone who might have a lot of things that you don't have, if they don't have the gratitude, if they don't have the hope for something in the future, I'm not so sure that that's life abundantly. And then thinking about it, sometimes just the maybe the most direct part is she couldn't have been the only widow or poor person that was ready to die of starvation, not have water, not have access to food. And so sometimes the comparison, which we, we should try to avoid at more often. At this point, it seems like, ooh, maybe I do have life more abundantly right now because I actually have life.
Yeah, it's interesting. Jesus actually speaks directly to that. He says, do you think there are no widows in Israel?
Yeah.
That the prophet could have gone to, and yet God sent him to a widow in Zarephath. And so, yeah, that's a great point. I'll tell you, Lindsey, I think one of the things that really impacted me, and that I've been really thinking over, I thought it was really just a really well-made, really well-thought-out point, is I have nothing except. And it is the accept part that God loves to take and use. I have nothing except a few loaves and fishes. I have nothing but a little bit of oil. I have nothing but a little bit of flour and oil. I have nothing except, and I'm thinking about all I have nothing excepts in my life. And it made me think a lot about that over the last couple of days. And I really appreciated that, Lindsey. I thought it was just a really good, just a really, really good point and really worth spending some time on.
Yeah, I think that I agree. The accept part, and for me, just tying that to gratitude and being grateful for what God has in those accept moments. And just, always looking for little things that you can put on the screensaver of your phone or your computer, or if you're still old school, put the sticky note on your bathroom mirror or in your car. But, that God's supply, you said that God's supply and abundance is never exhausted. So just sometimes when it's hard, it's good to remember that someone other than you can provide what you can't, even if you tried. And to think that person actually cares what happens to you and loves you, that feels pretty good when things are not looking so, or feeling so good in your life.
I wanted to ask Lindsey a question. What was it like preaching at Whole Life? Different places have different vibes when it comes to preaching. How was it preaching at Whole Life for you? It
was fun. It was good. It was darker. I couldn't see the audience as much.
Yeah.
That was nice. But I could see the front rows. That was good. It was really responsive. I feel like there's energy in the audience.
Yeah.
Just a responsive energy, positive energy. It was fun. Yeah, I like preaching twice. It's fun because you get different. It's actually both first and second are quite different too.
It's a different vibe.
Different feeling,
preaching. Definitely.
Yeah, but it's a good crowd. Very interactive. Yeah.
I have to say though, first service has been waking up.
Have they?
They have. There is, when I first got here till now, there's been a change in the first service. They become a lot more vocal. A lot more participatory.
I feel like a lot of people that have joined later, than maybe after you came, have started coming to first service because it's the service I recognize the least amount of people. Like when I was preaching 2-3 months ago, I was looking out at faces and I was just like, I don't really know that many people. And then second service, there's the people that I know or that I recognize. And maybe that's a good thing because we're always trying to get people to come to that. The last thing I wanted to touch on was I really liked how you brought the kids into this in that last story and including them, not just and you said something to the effect of kids don't need to just listen to the adults talk about it.
Yeah.
They need to see the adults doing it and then being a part of it and being asked to join.
Yes.
Maybe even if it's imperfect.
It's going to be imperfect.
Yeah. So is that part of your it's you're supposed to vote today, people, if so there's that happening today on Tuesday. So is that your platform?
That's my platform. That's my platform. Put the kids.
Include the children.
Include the kids in everything we can.
Show them the way.
I second that motion.
Yes.
I think there's a song about that. Should we all sing? I believe the children are our future.
Ken should start out.
Ken?
Well, but see, I don't believe they are the future. I believe they're the present.
Now.
I believe that I think that we want them engaged now,
Yeah.
not somewhere down the road.
Touche.
Yep.
All right, Lucas, we have at least one question, right?
We have one comment
Okay.
from Trudy. Isn't it interesting that Elijah and the widow survived on bread during the famine when the Bible also says men shall not live by bread alone? Clearly, the real miracle wasn't the bread itself, but God's provision that never went out. That being said, I'm choosing to interpret this biblical support for eating more bread.
I support that, Trudy. Thank you very much.
Just wish the Lord would get rid of gluten belly. That's what I just don't like that.
Got to get that sourdough. Keeps it down.
Is that it?
Yeah.
The sourdough is better for you that way?
Absolutely. It's
Even better than like whole wheat bread?
Oh, way
Yeah.
better. Yeah, all the flour's been so stripped of anything nutritious, and when you get all the enzymes and everything that's working together in the sourdough, oh yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, I love
definitely.
sourdough better, so this is good news for me.
Yeah, it's got to be real sourdough. Like you get the stuff at the supermarket. A lot of times it's sort of sourdough.
Got to make it.
You got to make it, and I mean,
Make it
I don't
cinnamon.
make it. Although I did make it, I didn't put it all. I put it all together, and I pulled and kneaded and did all the stuff, and I put it in the oven,
Hey.
and I did cut the top and do all that, and it turned out pretty darn good.
It's a kind of a full circle moment, Randy.
It was my wife's.
We
yeah.
started off with cinnamon rolls that
Yeah.
Lindsay and I didn't get any of, and now we're back to bread that you made that we didn't get
Well,
any of.
I have.
I know.
She left me 2 loaves, so we have
Any
enough
fish?
No, just the 2 loaves.
Start with
Sorry.
what you have. Start with what you have.
I
I have nothing
this is-
except 2 loaves.
2 loaves.
This is what I have, and I'm grateful.
Just bring
for
it in, Randy.
Bring it in.
And your bread shall not go empty, and your I don't know. Anyway.
So we
Something
all
like
have
that.
abundance.
Yeah.
Have a staff meeting tomorrow, so
Well, there you
might be
go.
your chance.
So one last question. This came by in text. This was during the middle of the message. As a global church, we spend a lot of money in evangelism to share the good news of salvation. Should we instead spend more money feeding the poor and healing the sick? I think that's an obvious question that comes when you talk about this.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we should be doing more of. And
Yeah.
I don't know that we can solve it, but what do you think?
I mean, from what I've seen in the 4 weeks I've been here, I think Whole Life tries to find all and every opportunity to serve anyone who's in need. So I think, I've just been amazed at all the things that are happening here. So I think, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
That needs to happen.
Awesome. I think it was, when you're here, we've been here at Whole Life, 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
In July, it was 10 years. So, and I've been on staff for 4
Wow.
as of Sabbath
Hey.
or
Wow.
Sunday. Yeah, so that was 4.
Nice.
August 16th was my start date.
Oh, perfect.
So I think we sometimes here forget how much goes on at this church and how much outreach and how much community impact. About 3 months ago, probably a little more, April, I think, because they were headed back to Wisconsin. Childhood friends, their parents, who are about the same age as my parents. He caught me out in the parking lot, Joe
Okay.
Saunders.
Nice.
Hadn't seen him in probably since we moved here, which
Oh, wow.
was 25 years ago.
Wow.
So it's been a
It's
bit.
a long time, yeah.
And we talked in his parking lot. And it was right after, a couple weeks after we had done Connected. And he was like, I've never been, because we grew up in the same church in Wisconsin. It's like, I've just never been to a church where this much happens and this much. And he's like, it's intentional. And he's like, and people show up. He's like,
Yeah.
you know what it would be like at home. He's like, you have an event and it's like, well, you get a couple people here and there. He's like, I just see all these people. And he's like, it's amazing to me. He's like, I never thought church could look like this.
Yeah.
So I think it's easy for us sometimes, even as we ask these questions, and it's good to ask them. But I think we also forget like the balance we try to strike with, yes, we have to operate, but also we need to impact those that are like right outside our door. So I think it's maybe sometimes not a difficult balance. It's just one we have to be intentional about.
That's wise. That's true.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't have the resources too, you can jump in with volunteering. I mean, there's all the ways you can
Yeah.
get involved with helping
That's a
people.
good point.
And there's a lot of opportunity here, what I've seen so far.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
it's
for
amazing.
sure. And then there was something about this person that was anonymous said she was a gorgeous widow in a drought. and I don't know what that's referring to. So maybe it was the artwork that you the slides. Maybe I don't know. So I'm not sure what to do with that, Anonymous. If you want to tell me more, I would like to investigate more because. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I wasn't there, so I can't really speak to that. So
if they like it, I did it. If they don't, it was AI.
Good point. Good point. Cool. Okay, so what's the last thing, as long as we're just wrapping up here, what's the last thing you would want someone to just leave this message with when you were, you always get to the end of the message and they're like, oh man, I hope they get this point, or I hope I've made it clear enough that this is what I hope people take away. What was the one thing you hope that people left this message with?
Yeah, I think my big hope was like whatever you have, if it's small or big or large, I mean, give it to God and then let Him lead and guide in those things in your life, and just see what He does, because I think He just wants us to have an abundant life, whatever that looks like. He meets us in those daily moments. He'll supply our needs and doesn't always look what we imagine, but He does supply our needs. So give it to God.
Excellent. Okay. Well,
sorry, I don't understand.
Siri did not understand that question. So well, guys, this is the part that every week we invite you to send a voicemail, a text, an email, 407-965-1607. That number is available during both services, whether you're online or you're sitting in the front row, the back row, get out the thumbs and start texting. Also podcast at wholelife.church, that gets you into there. And also the previous number, that's also good for voicemail. And as Ken says, it's always extra credit if you send a voicemail. We'd love to hear from you and actually hear from you, not repeat what you have to say. But we'll do that too. We're happy with that, but that is extra credit. Okay, this week it's a new series called Great Families, and the first one is called Biological Families, and I'm like, great families, huh? You sure about that? I think people might have some disagreements. I think people might have some opinions. So, if you have those, start thinking about that. And then this week, make sure you hit, I think Ken mentioned that, Lindsey at the end of the message, he said, Lindsey is up for every question. You can't stump her. And, we didn't really want to try to stump Lindsey. It's just her first week preaching. So, we
Thank you.
Thank
you for the grace.
Right, guys. Yeah, thank you for that. But, and Ken had to leave because he had another appointment. And so since he's not here, I would say spend your week, like maybe your alone time with God, and ask God what a good question for Ken would be this week as we start talking about biological families. Be thinking about that when you come in and sit down, or you turn on YouTube and you start watching this week. And it would be great to send him a really good pile of questions where we take a bunch of time next week. So I think that's everything. There's nothing else. What's coming up, Lucas? Anything important that we should...
we just want to invite people to join the Whole Life Choir.
Oh, that's right. The choir.
Yeah, we have the 100-year anniversary celebration coming up.
That's
and
right.
Our choir director asked me to, make sure that people know that...
Wycliffe, he's a good guy.
Yeah, they already got more people. So if you like to sing, maybe this is your opportunity to...
Okay.
Yeah.
Not me, but yeah.
I think you, right?
No. Lindsey must sing.
Listen, I sing as well as Ken did for service.
Well, then we're all in good company that we will not be the ones answering the bell on this one. So that's fine, though. And then here's a couple others that you haven't heard about yet. But, of course, you all know Barn Party's coming up.
Yep.
But before Barn Party, this year it's on an off cycle, and you've missed it because it would have been in spring, but it is Church Retreat. And there's going to be some special stuff because even though Church Retreat hasn't been here for 100 years, Whole Life has, and so we have some extra fun things. Saturday Night Live will be really, really cool. You don't want to miss that. There's our guest speaker. I don't know if we've announced it yet.
I don't know who it is.
You don't know who it is? It's a special guest.
Ooh.
Should we announce it already, or maybe?
Well, we probably. I don't think it can hurt. We didn't get permission either, though. But here we go.
But
here we go. We're gonna do it. Okay, and then
first.
the guest speaker is Andy McDonald.
Oh.
Long time, 37 years pastor. He was here. So if I'm not supposed to say this, don't just keep it to yourself. Okay. But just know that you know. But that is coming up. And so we are going to be opening registration very soon. So You'll
Sweet.
only know like a week or two ahead of time because we're going to be dropping that in about a week, I believe. So just be
Awesome.
watching. And the 100th anniversary, speaking of that, if you are part of our newsletter and you get that every week, you already got your invitation by email. And if we're someone that we're afraid that we might miss an email that may have been here in the past, you will find something in your mailbox. So we're trying to catch a bunch of people that have been here in the past, and we might not have current emails, but we have an address, and we're crossing fingers and all that good stuff that it gets to you. So spread the word that is coming as well.
Yeah. And if you have kids from pre-K to 8th.
That's right. That's time sensitive.
Yes.
Yes.
It's actually ending September 22nd.
Okay.
So we are offering scholarship.
Ooh.
So, yeah, you can check our events page for more information.
wholelife.church/events.
Awesome.
So make sure if you have kids, like
do.
going to AJA, Fleece, whatever. I'm not sure what it all entails. So just go wholelife.church/events, check it out. And I think the person that asks questions is Karen on that
Yes.
one. So if that's the case, it's Karen at wholelife.church. If you don't get all your questions answered there, I'm sure she'd be happy to do that for you. Guys, thanks for hanging out again this week. Thank you to Lindsey for preaching. And we look forward to more of that in the future and just more of her platform being erected and spread and put across all of Whole Life for the kids, the families.
That's right.
And we're excited.
Sweet.
All right, guys, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening. Have a great week. Thanks for listening to This is Whole Life. If today's conversation resonated with you, we invite you to subscribe, share, and leave a review on your favorite listening platform. To join the conversation, send a text or voicemail to 407-965-1607 or email podcast@wholelife.church. To learn more about Whole Life Church, worship with us online or in person, visit our website, wholelife.church. Until next time, this is Whole Life.